Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. I am Dylan.
And I'm Vinny.
I think Michael Burry's right. The buy the dip generation has possibly ended a bear market, and we are maybe in a bull market. We're going to take a look, but I might have been wrong this whole time.
Two Super Guys Trade Stocks.
So this tweet's from Marsh. You remember this, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely do. This
Yeah.
is when Michael Burry was giving up and saying that the Wall Street bets generation and Robinhood generation was going to just ruin the world and never going to get stock at a good price again.
I think it is possible. Right now, there is an argument against, which we're going to go over. But here's the weekly cues. You know, I've showed you guys this a couple times. The dotted gray is the 100 moving average. The blue is the 200 moving average. As you can see, it does respect it quite well, and we pushed up on this last Friday. The important thing, the reason why I zoomed out, is these two red circles were shorting points. These were times when puts were very, very high, and a lot of the people that had shorted here had to cover on Friday, or at least a little bit on Friday. Not all the way, right? But shorts are starting to cover and it's starting to push the market up. The amount of buying on Friday was unreal. It's like there was just no one selling. Stocks just went straight up for like the last couple of days if you're the right stock. Here's just kind of a closer look, but you can see we push right through that support. The SPY is butting up right against it. I do want to show one thing. Here we go.
God damn it, I hate this freaking
I know.
stock.
So it was basically like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But if you just like look at tech, okay, just the last 3 days, it's just straight up Google, Apple, Nvidia, AMD, what's up, Microsoft, Meta. It's just going up in very, very large increments and percentages. Not great if you're short. Let me go
No,
back to the
definitely not.
thing here.
I mean, my portfolio is like heavily overweight in Apple and Meta and Google. Like those are
Yeah.
my three largest holdings. So like,
Mine's AMD and Google. Those are, and Baba. The Baba is my largest holding.
nice.
This was pretty interesting too. So this was from FactSet, but it's basically the number of S&P 500 calls citing the word recession over 5 years is drastically going down. Right? They're no longer using the supply chain or something as an excuse, and the vast majority of companies did pass earnings or beat earnings. Granted, they were in lower expectations. There's a caveat there. Here's the argument against. Okay? There's some unforeseen things. I have no idea how they calculate this, but Reuters and Bloomberg, everyone had the same number, so I just did Y charts because the graph is prettier. But the U.S. recession probability through April 2024 is skyrocketing. So there's still
Okay.
pessimism. Okay? In addition, this is Powell. This is Jerome Powell. So he talked on Friday. He said, we face uncertainty about the lagged effects of our tightening. It could be a very, very long time, right? And as well as the extent of credit tightening from recent bank stresses. So he just said, hey, we're committed to the 2% goal. That's still the main thing we're trying to do, right? And before he spoke, about a month ago, the odds, do you know the odds of a June interest rate hike? What they were?
It's 22%, I think, as of yesterday when I last looked for the
Do you know
next
what it
meeting.
was like a month ago?
I want to say it was going to be lower than, or a hike, maybe
Hike in
50-50.
June. It was 5%. 5% in April thought there'd be a hike in June. Everyone thought there was going to be a hike in May, but the one in June was pushed off. So they're kind of saying, look, I don't know if we're going to do it, but this gets real interesting. Here's the actual probabilities. All right. Odds of an increase went from 5 to 40% in 1 week of a rate hike on 6/14.
Wow.
Right. And in addition, I didn't include it in here, but the odds of initially, early part of the year, they were thinking that we would decrease rates in August. That's shooting down hard. Like that's not staying the same.
Oh God, but we've been saying this. Powell said it was going to be high for a while, like, and
Yeah.
now markets finally starting to believe it.
So you got to be careful. You can't go too high because banks are closing. That is a risk, right? Credit defaults are increasing also. We've already talked about that a couple of times, so I don't want to put it in here. But there's just so much money that was printed. There's so much money sloshing around at the top of the market that tech is just shooting up and everyone's going up with it. It is
Yeah,
wild. It's crazy.
interesting. I mean, there's a good chart from that Figuring Out Money channel where they look at the kind of advanced decline line, and the breadth of the market has been getting poorer and poorer. So it's really been the mega cap stocks that have been the only ones
Yeah.
going up.
Unfortunately, so just the ones that I just went through super fast, that's like 22% of the SPY. Just like
Yeah.
right there, right? Um, I've been saying that mega caps, I think we did a video 7 months ago that mega caps are floating the market, and they were at that time, still are. Doesn't
Still
matter.
are. Probably will
Yeah.
forever. Yeah.
Probably will forever. So I'm not 100% sold. I'm not going to go out and buy NVIDIA tomorrow. I think it's incredibly overpriced. I don't get it. But it is looking more bullish and bullish by the day, right?
Interesting. Because I am this close to pulling a completely insane portfolio move from my main account. I sold an
A
in the
short.
money call on my Apple stock at 170, meaning that like I'm betting it's going to be below 170 by next month, options expiry date. And I'm also thinking about dropping my Meta and Google right now because the valuations seem to have gotten kind of high to me. I'm this
So
close to doing it.
once again, I'm not saying logically. I agree with you. Google's too high. NVIDIA's way too high. Meta's too high. I completely agree with all that stuff. But the problem is when people short and the market still goes up, they then have to come back in and cover. The amount of
Mhm.
people that were shorting the last year that did not get out, I'm one of them, by the way, close my shorts, that did not get out, you have to buy back in. There's still a lot of people short. And that Friday move, it wasn't a ton of volume. There's a chance this is a what's it called?
Bull trap.
Bull. Yeah, there we go. Bull trap. How do you know that? And I forgot it. Jeez. Um, but the shorts are getting scared. I would assume because of
Yeah.
what just happened on the last week.
But would this blow off the top move maybe be short capitulation?
It's possible. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna roll with my stocks. I bought AMD at 80, so I'm happy.
Nice, nice.
All right,
All
guys.
right, guys. Well, it's pretty wild times out there. Let us know how you're kind of trading this little tipping point.